About the money behind the games. Here's Sandra.
All right, Bob, thanks so much. Yes, the business of sports, and specifically today, the business in the NFL. Christy Doss joining me now to talk NFL and salaries. And, of course, the playoffs are upon us. The Super Bowl is up next. So how much do the NFL teams that advance, how much more do they make as a result of winning?
Each player gets a payout at the end of the playoffs. And what's really funny is that players from the Jets and the Packers are going to make more money than players from the Steelers or the Bears if they're the ones that win the Super Bowl.
This makes no sense at all.
It really doesn't.
Why is this possible?
It's because the players get paid per playoff game.
Okay.
So there's a payout for each round. For the wild card round, that payoff's about $19,000 a player. For the divisional round, it's about $21,000 a player. Then for the conference title game, about $38,000 a player. Super Bowl, $83,000 a player. And actually, the Super Bowl loser, they get $42,000 a player.
Gosh, that's not a bad day at the office. I bet they do something about that, though, because the teams that win the division that get the bye, how do they end up losing money? Unless it's incentive-based per team. They got to work that out, don't you think? You know what else you got to work out, folks? How about this? Listen up. You want to go to the Super Bowl and stand outside? It'll cost you $200. That's what Christy's here to tell us. You can actually buy tickets to stand outside in Dallas. $200? What?
I mean, it sounds ludicrous at first, but it's probably brilliant. They're probably going to sell all these tickets. They're making these standing room only tickets outside in this special kind of roped off area that's going to have big screen TVs. $200 a ticket, or if you want to get together 3 of your friends, you can buy this package for $800. You're going to get 4 tickets to stand outside, 4 game programs, 4 scarves, just in case it's cold, and you're going to get a parking pass.
The parking pass is probably worth it all. And those scarves better be made of cashmere, and really good cashmere is all I'm saying. Hey, listen, I wish I would have thought of it. They're laughing all the way to the bank. All right, stay with me here because I don't want you to glaze over when I start talking about the NFL and the Players Association. There's some collusion charges. First up, dummy it down for me. What is collusion?
Collusion is any time the players think that the owners are acting together. They don't have to have a written agreement. They really don't even have to have a verbal agreement. It's any time any group of owners is doing something the players think is, giving them the short end of the stick.
All right, so the Players Association have gotten together and filed a collusion charge against the owners because they think the owners are doing what specifically?
They think that during the offseason, prior to the 2010 season, the owners had some sort of agreement, express or not, to keep down player salaries. There was only one restricted free agent who changed teams before the 2010 season, and that's going to be something the players are going to point to.
Is that going to be something easy for the players to prove?
Absolutely not. The owners are going to say it's about finances, which, let's be honest, they're making huge money in TV. They're breaking records for TV viewership. But collusion is incredibly difficult to prove in any sport.
And quickly, what did Marvin Lewis, the head coach of Cincinnati, say? Because there was one instance in particular with some of the Bengals players.
Big time foot and mouth. He had a player he was going to relegate to the practice squad, Desmond Briscoe. The Bucs offered him a practice squad spot as well. If he had stayed with the Bengals, he would have made a little over $88,000 on the practice squad. The Bucs offered him $310,000 to come to their practice squad. So Marvin Lewis hears about this, and this is what he says. He says, when you overpay a guy on the practice squad, you create a problem in the system for teams. That's not a great precedent for teams to set as we try to keep the NFL doing the things we're trying to do as a league. It's still a league of 32 teams, and things are put together a certain way.
Guilty! All right, Bob, what do you think? This stuff makes my head spin. I'll say it again. Collusion and legal and monies. Hey.
Really? I saw a collusion on the expressway 285 when I was coming around today.
That's a collision.
So we know about this.
No, I brought
stuff.
some clothes to a collusion facility.
No, that's not right either.
That's right. What does it mean?
There's 3 types of collusion. There's air collusion.
Okay.
There's noise collusion.
Okay.
And there's water collusion.
That's
pollution. Huh? Pollution.
Okay, let's get to the serious question. All right, get off of this collusion stuff. Let's talk about the serious stuff, and that is, would you pay $200 to stand outside the Super Bowl?
Wait, okay.
You get a scarf.
Okay, I'm trying to understand this. I'm all about being at events. I love big events, but let me put this in perspective.
You can't get in.
Let's just say you're going to go to a nice new restaurant in your hometown, but you can't get in to eat. But we'll only charge you $50 to smell the food from outside. Like, why? It's the dumbest. Or there's a rock concert going on inside of an arena. Can't get in, but $20, you'll get to hear a little bit of it outside. Who's going to do this?
You know what you should do with that scarf? Hang yourself with it, because I seriously doubt anybody in your family's going to miss you if you're that stupid.
I wasn't going to do it, but the minute you said I'd get a scarf,
yeah, I know.
I seriously think, now, here's the deal.
It's a cashmere.
Cashmere too, Sanderson.
How about you pay me $200?
Right.
You can come sit on my couch in front of my flat screen. I might even bring some chicken wings. You have a much better experience.
I think so
You're
too.
supplying some nourishment. I like it.
Buying food.
Better than a program and a scarf.
Back in the
I'll
early,
have my wife knit you a scarf. $200.
back in the early 90s, I was hosting the NFL Stadium Show on TNT, and we did Super Bowl Saturday out at Pasadena. And we had a huge crowd because Garth Brooks was singing his big show on Saturday night before the Super Bowl. I said then we should charge tickets for this. So they've stolen my idea. So I'm suing. I'm calling my son and I'm suing. It's my idea to sell tickets for the thing. Stay with us. We'll come back in a moment. We're going to talk about celebrities in pro sports on the sidelines in NBA, NFL, etc. We've got a big brouhaha brewing down in Miami.
Got something in store for everyone, too.
And all preseason long, we've been hearing about the Florida games.
Hey, where are you going? What, are you turning off the show?
Well,
We're just about to preview the best games in the ACC. Brian Oliver's going to join us.
And then we're going to preview tonight's big SEC game.
but I'm going to the game.
You'll be sure to tune in the rest of the week, though, right?
You got it.
CSS brings Southern sports fans shows you can't see anyplace else. Only on cable. Only CSS and CSS-sports.com.
Nice hat.
Previously on Gilligan's Island.
There was the time that Gilligan lost a filling. He was able to transmit radio signals through his cavity. You know, hilarious, but a little implausible. My favorite were the dream sequences. I don't know if you remember. They went to Transylvania one time, and then he was chased by the gorilla with a hand grenade. Just picturing everything. You know what? This is actually worrying me a little bit. Professor was just so resourceful, forward-thinking, just
See it for yourself.
Genius.
Watch Gilligan's Island for free, along with hundreds of other shows, whenever, wherever. Fancast.